Hi guys, it's Joe. So I'm doing this quick tutorial on my little gnomies that I made. I posted this on Instagram and it was requested that I do a tutorial, and so here I am today. Excuse my voice if I sound sick, because I am, and I still wanted to make this video so you guys can give it a try and make it for the holidays. So basically, here they are. They're cute little pom-pom gnomes, really easy to make. These are the medium size, and then here is the large size. I made several in the gray yarn, and then I also made some with this nice deep red yarn. So let me just show you the supplies that I used. Let me move this out of the way. I made several. Okay. So the main supply that I used was the We Are Memory Keepers, the pom-pom makers. So I used the largest pom-pom maker for this size, and then this one is the medium. Okay, let's open this up. So here's the large, and then here's the medium. Here's a small. I haven't made a small yet, but I can later on. But here's the large, medium, and small. Today I'm going to use the medium pom-pom maker for you. Okay, so pom-pom maker, for the little beards here, I got this at Michael's. It's in their doll section, or their DIY section. It's just basically this is what it looks like. This is already half the sheet, because I've already used half to for the ones that I made, and it just looks like this. Okay, and then I bought some assorted wooden beads that look like this. I need a good pair of scissors. This I used to cut the yarn, the felt, and the beard material. Here is the felt. This is some felt that I already had in my stash. This is really thick, but I also used this thinner material of felt, and this is again at Michael's, so really inexpensive. But this one's a lot thicker, just because I think it has the polka dots. This is from, oh, I forgot, old company, out of business already, but yeah. So I have this felt here, have some jute rope that it's a little thick, but I'll show you how I thin it out. And then just some paper, wrapping paper for the filler of the hat, and also a cone template for the hat. Now this, I just got a template off online. They're free just for cone, and then I just adjusted it to how big I want it, and then yeah, really easy. It's basically, you get a circle, cut it in half right the middle, and then you cut it the half piece again right through the middle, so it's basically a quarter piece of a circle. Then you could just trim it and adjust it to the size. So I think, yeah, those are the supplies. Also my hot glue gun, because I did not sew in this project. So again, I'm making the medium size. Oh, and then the most important thing is you need yarn. I pretty much used already half of the yarn, but this is some red yarn that I bought at Michael's. I just like the color and thickness. So yeah, let's get started. So here's the pom-pom maker. Really easy. You just open up the two sides, and I start with one side, and I'll try to speed this part up, but basically I just do a wrap through the whole thing just to get a base, and hold this string right here, and then I just start wrapping. I do several layers. The thicker, the more layers you put, the more dense your pom-pom is. So it'll look a lot more full if you do a thin layer, then it'll be a lot lighter, and I don't know, the yarn will be spread out, spaced out more, but I do several layers. So let me just do my layers, and then I'll show you how I make the gnome. Okay, so there's, see how thick it is? And then let me just trim off a piece. Then you just go ahead and close that one side of the pom-pom. It's coming off. Okay, like that. And then I hold it like this, and then I go ahead and start the other side. Okay, then close it up. So it's gonna look like this. And then I already prep a piece of string so I could use this to tie the pom-pom together. So I get a good pair of scissors, and these scissors I use only for fabric, so they're really sharp. Oops. Okay. So then I kind of hold it together, and I start trimming down the center here, like so. So it starts to look like that. Okay, so that's one side done. Keep it closed. Turn it around and start trimming this down the center. That's what it looks like. And then now I get that piece of yarn, and I just follow that center groove like so, and then pull the yarn through and then tie a knot. I do double knots because this is tying all the little cut pieces of yarn together. So just do it really tight, and then I do another knot. Okay, so then you start to get the little pieces and open it up. That's one side, and then the other. Okay, and then this pom-pom makers opens up like so, and then you just close it back to start another pom-pom. So this is what the pom-pom looks like, and of course we're gonna trim it. Let me just this paper towel here. So we just trim off the long pieces, and then you just kind of eyeball it to see if there's any parts of the yarn that is misshapen of the yarn ball, and just trim it. I don't get too exact, just as long as it looks like a little ball, then I'm good to go. And then I just leave this top part on for now. So the base of the gnome is done. Okay, and then now I start prepping the pieces. So now I'm prepping the hat. So here is my little template, and it's still a little bit too big, but I could trim it out later. So let me just move these pieces, move my gnomes. Okay, so let me just put it at the corner here, and then just cut the shape. Okay, and then If it's a little crooked here, that's fine. We could trim it out later, but let me just make it smoother a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I want the polka dots to show, so I'm just going to turn it that way. And then here is my jute rope, and like I said, it's too thick, so I kind of separated it. There's like 3 little pieces intertwined, twisted together to make this rope, so I use one of them, and it's still a nice thickness to it, so I like it that I separated that large piece, and then I end up with 3. So then I just tie a knot, and then just gauge how long I want my hoop to be. And since this is thick already, I don't need to double knot it, and I just cut the excess off. Okay, so now here's my glue gun. Put it like this. I just take the hot glue and start putting it all on one side, like so. And then I take the little loop there, put it in the center, and then I just kind of hold on to that top part, try not to touch the glue, and then just roll the felt onto the hot glue like that. And then I just get my scissors and kind of press it inside. Check the back. It's still, you can still see the little loop on the outside, but that's fine. As long as it's glued and it's not going to move, then it's okay. And then I just get my little pom-pom and kind of look at it and see if it's the height I want it. For me, it's still a little too long, but it's you could keep it this long or cut it to the height preference that you want. So I'm just going to trim it a little bit. So that's good for me. Okay, so now I'm going to have the base, the hat. I'm going to get the beard ready. So I turn it upside down and I cut about, let's say, 1 inch to 1.5 inches length, so a little over 1 inch, but I just kind of run my scissors up against the fabric, so I try to not cut a lot of the beard, I don't know what you call that, the hairs off, and then I just kind of do the same and slide it through the bottom there, like so. Okay, and then you just pull it apart like that, and then I just do a little pull like this, because of course you cut some of the hairs off already, and that's what I'm taking off there. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and then I do a little triangular shape at the bottom of the beard. Hopefully it's not too bright. So I just do a little trim like that, kind of to round off the edges, trying not to cut the front of the hairs. Doesn't have to be perfect, I just want to cut. Okay. So then again, I start pulling the hairs because obviously I cut more off. Okay. So then it looks like this. Okay. Okay, so now I get the hat. I put the front side down and the seam on the top here, and then I add some glue to the edge right here. And then I get the beard and glue it up top. I put probably 1/4 inch up into the hat so that it looks like this. Okay, then for the filler of the hat, I have just your basic butcher paper or whatever they use to wrap your fragile pieces when you go shopping. So, it's a bit too much. I just trim it. Then I just stick it in the hat like that. Okay, now here's my pom-pom, and then I just go ahead and trim the string. It just kind of helps me know where the top part of the pom-pom is, because I didn't really make that round, so that's what's going inside the hat. And then I go ahead and put the hot glue at the top of the beard inside, and then around the edges, and then just inside as well. Then I just put the pom-pom upside down so it looks like an ice cream cone, and then just hold it for a few seconds. So that's what it looks like. Okay, and then for the wooden beads, you just pick any style nose you want. I think this one's fine, or a darker one. No, actually I'll go with the lighter one. Okay, then I just put a little bead of hot glue, and then I try to find the center of the hat and the beard, and I just put it like so, and I kind of stick it underneath the hat, but if it doesn't, that's fine. So it's sticking out like that. Okay. And that's it. Really simple. You could embellish it more if you want to put a bead up top, then run your bead and tie a knot. If you want to put more, if this was plain, you could do what I did and put like wood veneer embellishments, rhinestones. You could do whatever you want. Mine's pretty simple. So, and that's it pretty much. And then you have your little loop you could hang on your tree or on a garland. But those are my gnomes. Let me get a couple different ones too. Here's my little green ones. I had so much fun making these. I went nuts and made like, I don't know, almost a dozen. But yeah, that's what they look like, and they're not that heavy, but they're nice and sturdy. And then the paper inside the cone forms the shape of the hat really nice, so it doesn't buckle or anything like that. But I pretty much made like a set for each pom-pom like that. So again, this is the large pom-pom and this is the medium pom-pom. So I hope you guys like my tutorial. I hope you guys give this a try this holiday season for your tree, for your banner, or just for cute little embellishments for your gifts. And thanks for watching. Bye.